Welcome to Dickin Around, a show about Sparks. In this episode, we'll
be visited by a kitty.
We will be visited by a kitty.
By kitty.
In this episode, we will be reviewing propaganda.
You mean like governments release propaganda to prove their point? Is that we're really going to have a political show?
Fake news.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what it means.
I keep trying to figure out the difference. But what is how did you say it?
Propaganda. Propaganda. Is it their fifth album? Sparks is fourth. We got self-titled. We've got Woofer. And then we've got, it's their fourth. Kimono. And Propaganda, fourth.
And Kimono was like they didn't know that it was going to hit. Like, do you know how this album came to be?
Which one?
Propaganda.
Kimono was a massive
So now they're on tour and they're able to go places that they've never been able to go before, and they've never been on tour buses before. So they wrote this album while they were on tour for Kimono. That's why this album comes out like right after.
Oh yeah,
because
it
they're
was
like
within a year. It
might even been 6 months. Because it was like hit it while it's hot, boys. Yeah, it came right out. But this album came because of while they were on tour. Because I guess I've never been on tour, but I guess it could be a lonely place.
Who am I talking to?
Jesus.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah,
not for a second.
Nah, I'm Jim. I've been here a couple times.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming back.
Yeah, man. I'm the one that has stupid accidents and fun stories about stupid people, and
And I am Ted, your gracious host.
Where you been for like a month, dude?
I know. That last episode.
Well, you gotta take a break after. You get someone to come in and interview with that level. You got to take a month off and do nothing.
I wish you could have been there. Oh my God.
We won't talk about what I was going through.
No.
Because anyone that's been an adult with, let's just say, adult habits, has sometimes taken it too far and just need to stay home and cry. I had a good cry. What have I
curled up in a ball?
When did I turn this old? What am I gonna like? It's not like I could go back to school and start over, Ted. I'm doing what I'm doing, Ted.
Drink of water.
Get it in. That's good. But yes, propaganda. Sounds a lot like Kimono.
I think Kimono Part 2.
Yeah,
but
when you're singing those songs every night and you're going from town to town, how could you not like?
Yeah.
When you put out an album 6 months later, how could you not make another album similar to the one you're doing?
Yeah, we've got the same producer.
Yeah, pretty much the same lineup.
Yeah, with the departure of the lead guitarist.
Where'd he go?
He said, "Go fuck yourselves, motherfuckers," and walked out. Yeah. We'll get into that on the track Achoo.
Achoo. Okay.
Yeah.
Excuse you. God bless you over there. I don't know how that works.
So, corrections, trivia,
and more.
Mailbag.
Oh, okay. You got a mailbag?
We're gonna blend it all together.
Excellent.
Yes. Here we go. This is from James Wellen, super Sparks fan.
Does it say where he's from? Because
he's from Florida.
Yeah, you can't just say his name. You got to be like from.
He lives on the edge of Disney land.
So like if
Disney World,
if the ice
did
packs,
I get too emphatic?
If the ice packs melt, like he don't have a home anymore. Like he lives there. Where he lives will be gone.
It's gonna be Waterworld in his parts.
Sucker.
Yeah. James Wellen claims to have the biggest collection of Sparks memorabilia. Why does that word not sound right?
So, does he just have
Sparks?
You got like guitars.
What is the word?
Memorabilia.
Is that
collaboration, or he has the collection, or
he has the biggest collection in North America.
And how would one prove that?
You bring in the team from Guinness.
I have more small brown rocks in my collection than anybody. Bring it. How does one prove that? Anyways, I don't mean to discredit.
No.
Anyways,
this guy knows his shit.
I don't know Sparks, so I'm not trying to get in on that. I'm just saying, how does one?
I don't know Sparks, as his letter will demonstrate.
All right, I want to hear.
Hello, my name is Jim. I have been a complete Sparks nut since 1980. In fact, I believe I have the most complete Sparks. I can't slur Sparks. I have the most complete Sparks. Oh, that was terrible.
Man,
I have the most complete Sparks audio.
He said it wrong. You should fix it for him.
Okay.
My collection of Sparks audio is the most complete, in my opinion, is how it should have been worded.
Damn it. You're like Orson Welles doing the TV commercial.
My dad was an English teacher. Leave me alone.
You can't put those two words together.
It's not the way the sentence is supposed to be structured.
In Europe, there are maybe 2 to 5 bigger collections than mine. I love what you are doing and would love to be part of this. I can help. For instance, do you realize your first 2 giveaway questions were wrong?
What?
Yeah.
Wah, wah.
Connection from Half Nelson to Concrete Blonde. Your answer, Earl Mankey. Wrong.
And you gave away somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gave away a prize and you were stupid.
I got it wrong, and I'll explain.
Okay.
Wrong.
You should bring this dude on.
I know.
He knows for fact checking.
Correct answer. Jim Mankey plays for Concrete Blonde. Yes, Earl was guitarist for Sparks. Jim was his younger brother and actually played better than better
Do you need me to read
guitar
this?
than Earl.
You want me to read it?
Am I seeing doubles at this point?
Yeah, man.
But being younger brother was relegated to bass, except on No More Mr. Nice Guys, which is a ripping guitar song, I must admit, which he co-wrote. Second prize you gave for the connection to Rupert Holmes. If you like pina coladas. Your answer, producer of Introducing Sparks. Wrong again. Introducing Sparks was produced by Terry Powell, Ron and Russell Mell. Correct answer would have been Rupert Holmes was the producer of Big Beat. And I Want to Hold Your Hand single.
I want to hold your hand. Dude, this dude's brilliant about something I didn't even know existed 3 months ago. He's brilliant. And he's making you look really dumb.
I am dumb.
How did you get your own show?
I stepped out and did it.
Shut the front door. And we're getting better at it. And we're getting better at the sounds. And we're getting
we're not going past the zero on the
figured out
decibel.
levels. Levels.
Yeah. I watched a YouTube
Look at you.
tutorial.
Yeah, you really should you know what?
I wish I would have done it before we interviewed Mr. Stephen Shane McDonald.
So anyway, so Jim from Florida, who's his whole home could be gone at any moment. You really should get him somehow hey, this is what we're gonna talk about. Are my facts right? Before you go and give away prizes. I think that's great.
It is great. And Jim, Godspeed, man. I hope your home in Disney World isn't under any kind of threat.
Well, here we're in Utah, and the reason why we still live here is because we believe when the big earthquake happens and California, Nevada falls off into the big fault line, beachfront property. We're there.
The Great Basin.
Yeah. Now all of a sudden I'm living in Malibu. Bring it.
Arizona Bay.
Nah, Arizona's too hot.
Bill Hicks. Arizona Bay.
Bill Hicks.
Okay. Name drop. Okay, here we go. And I Want to Hold Your Hand single. Well, there you have it. Keep up the good work. P.S. I was baptized a Latter-day Saint.
Shut the front door.
Not practicing anymore, and am friends with the Osmond. Call me anytime. you need me.
Mahalo.
And he left
Isn't that
his
what
number for me.
Isn't that what the Mormons say? Mahalo?
Mahalo.
Because Mahalo camp that the kids all went to, and like, isn't that what no? My oldest sister dated Jimmy Osmond for a while.
Nice.
Yeah, mostly consisted of him calling her saying, "I'll be on Channel 5 tonight."
I was working in a movie theater in Provo, and he came in, and he had a
Who's he?
Jimmy Osmond.
Jimmy, yeah.
He had a portable phone, and
One
it
of
was
those huge big
a
suckers
fucking suitcase
with like an 8-minute battery.
He props it up on the concession stand and takes a call.
Yeah. Hey, Jen. This is the 5th call from my big, huge phone at the movie theater. Just want to let you know I'm going to be on Channel 5 today. Yeah. I was with my much more famous brother, Donnie. I don't say anything, but I'm there.
So, thank you, Jim.
You're welcome.
For Jim from Florida.
See how that works? See how you can see?
For setting me straight.
Yeah, this dude's
setting
good.
us straight, because when I fuck up, you fuck up.
Oh, no. It's your show. I'm just
okay.
I'm just here for the free water.
So both prize winners got these answers right.
So we want it back. So the 2 prize winners,
No,
you need to return your prizes.
I have to stipulate they got the answers right. The problem is during the recording, I didn't look down at my notes. I was going off the top of my head, and I got albums reversed, and I got producers. Yeah.
What do you think I am, Nevadian?
So the next trivia question was submitted by Jim from Florida.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's
deep cut.
Oh, and reply to dickinaroundsparks@gmail.com. That's Dickin without a G, without an apostrophe. Dickinaroundsparks. gmail.com. So so the question is, how many times did Sparks appear on Dick Clark's American Bandstand? I thought it was 2, and it isn't.
Well, then
That's all I'm saying.
You gave away one of the answers.
Yeah.
See, I would have said, huh? Apparently, and if that's correct, I want the prize.
Propaganda. We've covered some of this ground, but released shortly after Kimono My House. Yeah?
Well, we did Kimono in 2 parts.
Oh, yes, we did.
Because I can't stop talking.
Yeah.
I'm going to do better today.
Yeah.
Some people call it Sling Blade. I call it Kaiser Blade.
Oh, yeah. And then Martin Sheen.
I knew his brother, Joe Estevez.
No, that's Charlie Sheen.
No, Martin Sheen.
Yes.
Not Emilio Estevez.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Joe Estevez.
Is he an actor?
Yeah. Okay. So at the end of Apocalypse Now, when he comes up out of the water,
yeah,
that's actually his brother because he
actually
had a heart attack, and so he couldn't film the rest. So that's actually his brother coming up out of the water. That's not him.
Why didn't they tell me that?
I just did
when I watched the documentary. Why didn't they say this is actually Martin Sheen's brother?
I've done 2 movies with his brother.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's a weird character. I like him. But anyways, yes. What were you saying? Tacos?
Oh, Propaganda. It was produced by Mr.
Are
Mervyn.
you sure? Wait, hold on. Are you sure? Are you sure?
Winwood. I think Jim from Florida will correct us if we're wrong.
Correct you.
Us. Okay, me. Brought him back. Same personnel as Kimono, with the addition of guitarist Trevor White, and the lead guitarist Adrian Fisher left Sparks at some point along the line here over issues of creative control, and we'll get into that when we review the song. Achoo.
Bless you.
Okay, side 1, Propaganda. I think the track I sent you had that intro as part of the song At Home, At Work, and Play, but it's actually a single track.
Okay, so
Propaganda.
you can't you
Propaganda.
cannot start talking about this album without talking about the album cover.
Oh God, yes.
I understand where you're going. We need to move it along, but it is one of the most fascinating, interesting, and you just look at that album cover, and it's like that's something I would have done.
Yeah,
the two of them on the boat, like bounded and gagged, like,
and they don't. They look.
They don't even
look truly bound. Like,
yeah, but,
if there's a big wave, they're going over, and they're not going to be able to.
But the looks
swim.
on their face isn't like I'm about to die. It was like meh.
I'm in a photo shoot.
We're making money now. We can afford the blow. We can
really.
Well, yeah, they went from being a garage band nobody knew.
I'm pictorial listening.
It was my favorite thing of the whole album is that picture. It was just I could just imagine going from because as an artist myself, going from wanting to make something to where they're like, really? So now they're like touring everywhere and able to go wherever they want, and people are going, "You're great, you're a genius," and they're that's why I think this new album came out so quickly is because of the fact that it went from years and years and years of struggle to
bam.
Yeah.
And lots of money from the label, and let's get this out there. And no concern about oversaturation back then.
Get it out. The iron's hot.
Get it out there.
Get it out.
You know, Beatles albums would come out within months of each other. And
the Who?
Yeah, the
Beat.
the BEAT Beatles.
Yeah,
was a little play on words there. They're an obscure band.
Yeah, they'll be all right. I'm sure they'll make some money.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what your point? Sorry, I just had to bring that up because it was one of my favorite album covers of all time.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was, and if it wasn't an album cover, I would just go, "That's hilarious." Just my point of view.
Okay, propaganda.
This town ain't big enough for the both of us.
This town ain't. Yeah, they're going off that kind of energy from Kimono My House.
Absolutely, they're touring all over the world, singing them same songs over and over again, and how could it not?
Yeah,
you can't release an album 6 months later after having the most commercial success of your life, playing those songs town after town after town over and over. You tell me that you could come up with something. You're not gonna reinvent the wheel now. Wait a minute, I have an idea. So yeah, I'll bet you a lot of that the difference of opinion between artists probably came from, dude, we're playing the same album. Let's move to England and talk like Englands.
So
which happened later.
That intro, propaganda with the layered vocals and everything, it just sets the stage for the whole album. It's fucking. Did I say kinetic already?
Probably.
Frenetic.
I don't know.
Fast.
Connect 4. Do it.
Yeah, I think it's the best intro to any Sparks album.
So, because I've talked about every time I've had to listen to each album, because I listen to it at work. And so I, again, looked at the lady that works next to me. She's cool. Her name's Dee. I said, you have to excuse me, but for the next 2 days, I'm going to be listening to that band again. And she's like, what? And I'm like, and as soon as I put play, she's like, oh, those guys. And she knows because I will listen to it over and over again for the next 2 days, so I have an idea of what I'm listening to. Oh, those guys.
And she was instantly converted.
Yeah. No, but however, my good friend Charlie Halford.
Yes.
He's in True Detective. He's the weird, crazy, the first season, he's the crazy meth guy that they think is the killer at first. He's also, I don't know if you saw Constantine, the TV series. He was like the sidekick. Anyways, he's doing really well. He said to me, I'm not a huge fan of the podcast. However, the Sparks,
caveat.
The Sparks are now one of my favorite bands.
Well, yeah, I will sacrifice myself and my ego to promote the Sparks.
So there's that. Anyways, let's move along. We got to get through this.
At home, at work, at play. So we will do an episode about the lyrics of Mr. Ron Mel, but he is in true form here, and I will just quote a little bit from the song. So at home she says, you butler well. And at work she says, you're typing well. And at play she says, you caddy well. Okay. Reinforcements. Reinforcements. I could use a martial music, right?
So,
I mean, they could be marching down the street. Reinforcements.
well, yeah, but so I don't want to say it's a problem I have, but it's not also. So when I listen to these albums, there's not like, that's not true. There's one or two songs that go, right, like this sound ain't big enough.
Yeah.
Like, but a lot of them kind of just blend into the next one.
Okay.
And a lot of the only time I know that the songs are over, especially in Kimono, not necessarily so much in this one, is they would just fade away.
Mm-hmm.
They just, because like we're still singing, but we don't have any more track, and so we're gonna fade away. But a lot of this album just kind of like I was listening to it, and all of a sudden I'd look over and I'd be 8 songs in, and I didn't. I'm like 8. Like when did I get to song 3? A lot of them just kind of blend into the next one.
Yeah. I remember when I had this album and I wanted friends and family to enjoy what I'm enjoying, I'd be afraid to put reinforcements on because it it's kind of
propaganda.
That the martial music that reinforcements, and the more over the years I've come to like it a lot.
You wish you would have showed your family. This is what I'm into, Mom. Get over it.
If I would have been more strident back in the day, my mom would be wearing a Sparks t-shirt right now. I fail. BC.
All right, give me some of it, because you've been so good at singing the. So you gotta be careful, because you know where I go straight to. Now I got a brand new. like.
Yeah. There's a lot of.
And we finally, I made you find it for me because I kept saying, why do I keep hearing this song in my head whenever they sing? And you found it within 3 choices, 3 picks. Yeah, and who is that song? Now
I don't know who performed it, but
you put it on and we listened to it earlier.
Yeah.
And that could have been a SPARKS song.
It could have been a SPARKS song. And there's a lot of melodies in this album that I'm like, it's on the tip of my tongue. Oh, wait, is that
where's that from?
Is that a show tune
right.
that it sounds similar to?
The hills are alive.
So, I don't know. I think it speaks to, them being tuned in to...
Were they tuned in, or they just kind of just like... Because this is still before, like... other bands started seeking them out. This is when they first. I mean, they haven't gone to England yet. They didn't get the English accents.
Wait. When this came out?
Yeah.
Oh, they are in England.
But did they?
They went to England after Woofer.
Yeah, but they don't sing English yet. So they're in England.
They're in England. Yeah.
And why'd they go to England?
After Woofer. They got a benefactor that brought them out there to cut out the to be
go right to another cut out the
I'm not gonna cut that out. Where was I?
So they're in England. But they're not singing English yet.
They had a benefactor. They dismissed the band they had in America because England didn't want the other guys. They were put up, and
but at this point, my point is they're not. There's not other bands seeking them out saying, I want to work with these guys. Hey, what these guys are doing, they weren't, because Kimono was the first time they really hit anything that anyone else would have heard. Nerds and you heard it. Well, you didn't till later, but like for instance, now you hear all these bands going, I want to work with SPARKS. Like I was influenced by SPARKS. But at that time, so when you say that they were influential and you think that they had this sound that was like something like I don't think that they knew what they were doing yet.
Well, when Kimono before Kimono. they put ads in the trade paper, and like the guitarist, the bassist auditioned for Supertramp and Sparks,
All the
and
classics.
Roxy Music, and made it into Sparks.
Right.
And so it was,
so back to my point. So they're still figuring out what they were doing at this point.
Yeah.
So they aren't making revolutionary new music. They're simply trying to figure out what they want. And they even, just to that point, like if you listen to the albums that come on after, when they change to an English band to
Wait, aren't they an English band at this point?
No, because they're not. They listen to the, like, I'll point it out later when we get to those later. He starts singing like an Englishman. He changes the way he sings, and he starts sounding English. And he's still him, but I don't think.
I think you might have your order reversed.
What?
Yeah, because after this,
they don't know that they're groundbreaking musicians at this point. You're high. You're 100% high. There's no way you can tell me in their fourth album that they're going, you know what? In 50 years from now, people are going to like take what we're doing. And no, they're just trying to make money so that they can make another album at this point, which is why this one came out 6 months later. Hit it while the iron's hot, because it might not ever come back. They were not making They ended up, yes, they did, but that's not what they were thinking when they made this. There's no way. There's no way. Otherwise, you would not have lost band members, and you would not have had basically the part 2 of the same album come out to hit it while it's hot. There's no way, because you would have had a producer going, no.
When you say English accents,
yeah.
Are you talking about like Russell Mill's ability to enunciate, to pronunciate, even though he's singing? Like when people from different countries sing in English, they all kind of, it all kind of melds into this.
Yeah, it turns into, it sounds the same.
Yeah. And his lyrics, his singing is so specific.
You listen to like David Bowie. You listen to like they don't sing like the 99 Balloons, the guys that did that band. You know that? Do you know how they made that song? The 99 Balloons. They didn't know how to speak English, and they phonetically were taught how to sing that song so that they could sell it. And yet you listen, and so that I think a lot of people will sing it, so when a lot of times when you hear songs, you don't know where they're from, but you can point out certain European acts and go, yeah, that dude's not.
But you got on
and they started
their
doing
second
that.
album, The Louvre, where he's singing in French, and he sounds like a Frenchman. And this is a fucking surfer dude from LA.
Yeah, and I think if I was him and I was in Europe at the time and I could get more more chicks and more
of that,
and all I had to do was start talking like this, I think I'd start doing it too. I mean,
but wait, you can't go to England and talk like that.
Why not?
And be impressive. You'd have to be in the U.S.
Yeah, because that's where you want to go.
But they weren't in the U.S.
You got to practice somewhere. You got to go back.
Okay, BC, it was a song about family breakups, but it's a very cheery sounding song. And, that's the brilliance of Sparks.
I think the brilliance of but also the brilliance of Sparks is his, just the way that he ties together the words, that like if you hear it and it's catchy, and then you like later listen to what he's actually saying. Oh, I played this for my family.
Okay, thanks but no thanks. Da 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 da. Where is that melody from? Because it's on the tip of my tongue.
Jim from Florida would know.
Jim from Florida.
He's like, they ripped it straight off from The Hills Are Alive.
Da 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 da. Oh, sacrilege.
Yeah.
Da 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 da. All right.
You'll get an answer. Someone will write in and go, it's very similar to from 1943's blah, 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 blah. And you're going to go, yes, of course, I knew that with your pinky out, I guess.
The song explores the difference between childhood compliance and rebellion.
Right.
Yeah, it's good shit.
The stuff that... So this album's still made before I was born. You were like 20 by now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I wasn't born yet.
In my late 20s.
Yeah, so late 25s. But no, it's one of those things where it's a lot of the stuff that when you listen to it now, you're like, I understand why I didn't listen to it then because I wasn't even a twinkle in my dad's eye. Mm-hmm. But by the time I didn't really start listening to music till, my sister was jamming in her Mustang 2 in 1988. We built this city. We built this. And I thought that was music. And then all of a sudden, when Nirvana happened, like me and my brother are a year and a half apart, and he stuck with the White Snakes and the butt rocks, and all of a sudden he's all like, I don't know why you can listen to Pearl Jam, and I'm like, fuck Metallica. And so now I go back, and so and never, even 10 years ago, if you told me, listen, hey Jim, I want you to listen to this band, I wouldn't listen to this. There's no chance.
Yeah.
I'm like, give me my my first album I ever bought was Automatic for the People.
Nice.
By R.E.M. The first one I spent my own money for. Now that's music. Don't you tell me. This SPARKS talking about, what do they know in 1974? They know nothing, Ted. Nothing. I stick to it.
My first album that I spent my own money on was Sean Cassidy.
Sean Cassidy. He was Dreamboat.
Do run, run, run. Okay, Never Turn Your Back on Mother Earth. Favorite song among fans of SPARKS.
This is like one of the favorites?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's been a bunch of covers
by
Nico Case.
Don't know.
Martin Gore.
No.
From Depeche Mode.
Oh, I do like the Depeche Mode. I used to just jam that my own personal. Jesus. Like, if my dad heard me singing playing this song, he'd kill me.
Okay, and then Something for the Girl with Everything.
Okay.
We're back in that fucking frenzy. Something for the Girl with Everything. Yeah.
Could you imagine having to sing for like an hour and a half, 2 hours in that falsetto?
I've watched.
No, have you sing yourself in a falsetto for 2 hours? Could you do it? Even if
I don't think I can do it for 1.5 seconds.
Even if it was terrible, like your imitations, like even. Can you imagine? You're like, no, you've been paid, man. You got to play. You got to do the whole show.
Take a lozenge and sing us a falsetto.
Sing us a falsetto.
Have a smoke. Take a lozenge.
Have one of our prostitutes that we have provided, and go. I would try. Let a
loogie go down halfway down your throat.
Keep it there
and sing falsetto.
I would if I was making enough money, I would give it a go.
Oh yeah. Anything for the paycheck.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, that's why I make $4 an hour, dude. Every hour.
Me too.
That I'm at work. Anyways, moving along. What you got?
At you.
Bless you.
I don't like songs with numbers. I don't like songs that spell out words.
So 7-letter word by Deftones, you definitely don't like.
Don't like it.
One of my favorite songs of all time. When I heard that song on the radio, it changed me.
There's a splinter in your eye and it reads react. REACT. See, that's the only flaw in any of the IRS REM albums.
You know, I have a problem when people spell out words on a song. I have OCD. I lose track, and I don't know what they're spelling. And I'm all like, wait, this time I'm going to pay attention. Wait, hold on. This time. Wait, okay, wait. Damn it, I missed it again. Okay, so next time it comes around, though, I'm gonna pay attention. Whatever he's spelling out, it must be important. What did he just spell? I can never. I have that huge. I cannot figure out when they start saying. I can't.
Okay, we're gonna do a song with the word onomatopoeia. And we're gonna spell it out.
Entrepreneurship.
Onomatopoeia.
And you're just gonna, I can't spell it right now, but
I can't spell it right now.
Can you spell it?
But that's what they're doing when they say achoo, right?
Bless you.
Isn't that what onomatopoeia means?
I don't know. I don't know because I lose focus and I start thinking about tacos.
Okay. Third point. I don't like songs with onomatopoeia in it.
It's hard to rhyme that.
No.
Huh?
Can you rhyme orange?
Yeah.
Do it.
Orange.
Yeah.
Yeah, just rhymed it. You said the fruit, and I was talking about the color. We're good, dude.
4 engineers wore orange braziers.
Yeah, you still can't rhyme. Nothing will ever rhyme with orange. Purple, grape, banana. Nope, none of these rhyme.
Okay, so...
Are we 7 songs in yet?
So I don't like onomatopoeia, which is a word based on a sound, achoo.
Bless you.
So this is where we see the dismissal or the some guy saying, fuck you, I'm not playing in this band.
I've got differences. Listen, I've got my nice little flat here, and I'm not playing in this band anymore.
So he had a ripping guitar solo at the end of the song.
They rip it.
And they're like, fuck that.
Fuck you.
We're going to have everyone say, achoo, achoo, achoo at the end of the song, which you can hear. Listen to it. And that pissed him off, and he was gone. Yeah.
I'd like to hear that. I'd like to hear, like when I hear creative differences, I'd like to hear, like, okay, no, well then show me what you would have done with that song. You know what I mean? Like sit down with that artist that left and let them like recut the song that they left the band over and go, okay, no, the time is yours.
Yeah.
Exactly. What did they miss?
Yeah, Milli Vanilli.
Dude,
what would have you done better?
What happened to them? Like not Milli Vanilli, not the ones that were going, but the actual ones that were actually singing. So if those guys were so good and made such a great album that made so many okay, they
won
were
awards.
Yeah, so okay, haha. Yeah, the pretty guys, they didn't make anything. Yeah. But what happened to those dudes that were actually singing? How come they didn't make any more albums?
Let's make a documentary.
You know what I'm saying? Like they always want to talk about the one that committed suicide and then the one that tried to make. You see those guys. Well, what about the ones that actually were fucking singing the songs? How come they didn't make any more songs? They were pretty good at it, apparently.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie about Milli Vanilli. Blame it on the rain.
I'm a fan.
That's really too bad. There's not gonna be any
unapologetic.
Reunion. Okay.
Okay, who don't like kids?
Other than my own kid?
I think they're kind of tapering off at this point on the album.
I'm all right with filming her, buddy. I'm okay with it.
I would have been okay with it on like the B side of a 45.
Yeah, but this album's short.
Do you know what
this album goes through quick?
Do you know what these terms mean? B side.
Yeah, the ones that aren't good enough for the A side, and then you get the.
You see, back in the day.
It's the ones they release when they do a best of, and they go, "We have a new song.
No,
we have a new song." And they're like, "That's not a new song. You wrote that 20 years ago."
Back when a gang of miscreants would come together and put out an album, they would release a single.
They wouldn't. The production company, the
on a 45.
they didn't have any. They didn't.
Do you know what a 45 is?
Yeah.
Okay.
A record.
A record.
They would actually press it.
45. A 45, which played faster than an LP. LPs were 33. Let me pontificate while you take a drink of water. That was good. No, like they would have put out a single and it would have been released on a little record called a 45,
and they put a
Boys and Girls.
And they put a second song on it.
And on the A side would have been that single,
Yeah.
and on the B side,
They put a second song.
I am saying Who Don't Like Kids should have been on that B side. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. And then Bon Voyage. And then we're done with the album. Bon Voyage.
So you're saying you didn't like that song though? You would have cut it. It would have been like, how long is that? The album's not long.
Nah.
It's a short album. They probably included everything they had because they had 6 months to get it out, dude.
9 months.
Was it 9? I don't. It was quick. It was quick.
It was both albums were 2000.
2004.
1974.
Yeah, I still wasn't even around yet. No. All right, but I understand. You know, you can have your favorites, but I think I'm telling you, this album. Not that it was a bad album. I'm not saying it was a good album. This album was a perfect example of put something else out.
Put something else out.
And they are done singing the same songs every night, and that's where this album came from. So probably be who cares? They had anything that they had at this point, they were going to be releasing because they were like, we're making money. I don't know how they say that in England. Maybe it's different, but we're making money.
Yeah, they're on Island Records.
Yeah.
Who knows how much fucking coke is going? Who knows?
Enough to keep them going every night, buddy.
Oh, I'm not.
New town,
I'm not
new girls.
I'm not accusing anyone of anything, but the 70s, man.
Yeah.
Mid coke, pre
in
AIDS,
your 20s.
Jesus Christ. So Bon Voyage, the final track, and then we will wrap things up.
I would like to hear
Sea Shanty.
I want to hear. You've done so well of doing your own like little hymn songs. I want to hear your.
What does sea shanty mean?
I have no idea.
Like sailor music, right?
No, that's not on Pirates of the Caribbean. That's not on Pirates of the Caribbean.
That can't be on that ride.
No, that actually probably could.
And they're all like banging their steins together.
Wearing Viking hats.
I don't know if it fits as a final track, but I like it.
Dude, but can you give me some of the
forehead flank, matey?
Give me some of the chorus. You've been so good with that.
Bon voyage, bon voyage. I'm making a fool out of myself.
Do you think maybe they were just like, we have, because it was a short album and they're adding B songs. So do you think the producer's like, we need like a goodbye song. We need something to say like, you know, goodbye. And
we're going to call it
Bon Voyage. Because if you ever watched how albums are made, that's what they do, man. Literally, we gotta get this out, but it's only a 35-minute album. We need another song.
No, I think they wrote a brilliant song and wrote brilliant lyrics, and it was called Bon Voyage, and so they said, "Oh, let's put it at the end because it's called Bon Voyage."
You're so much nicer than I am, because I don't think that's what happened. I think they needed another song to finish the album. And they called it Bon Voyage. Jim from Florida, would you care to call Ted? Text him at 3 a.m.
Jim's gonna send an intercontinental ballistic missile to my house and blow us up.
He's like, that other Jim's a dick. Who brought him in? Well, it's been a month and Ted wouldn't get it done, so I was like, Ted, come on, get out of bed. Stop crying. Stop crying, Ted. We need to make another SPARKS podcast.
Why are you still curled up in a ball?
You've been dicking around the wrong places, Ted.
A little note about our other podcast.
We did venture into a second podcast.
Yes.
We call this one Give Peace a Chance. And before you go, what? Basically, so you know my background. I am I've been making films for about 25, 30 years now. Done pretty well for myself. Lately, not so well. But I had a good time. I had a good run there. Yes. I had a good run. And so anyways, I always find that I like movies that other people don't. And I talk to my friend Ted and my friend BJ, and they also have their own views. And so there's the mainstream movies that everybody watches, and there's people reviewing those movies all the time. And I didn't want to review new movies. I didn't want to review, make fun of movies. What I wanted to do was like, did you see this film? And people are like, I've never even heard of it. And I'm like, well, we should be talking about these films because it's a brilliant film. Like, you can watch it on IMDb and they're like, this movie was crap. It's like, yeah, but you also thought freaking, Terminator, Generations or whatever. You like that one. You watched all 5 Transformers. So don't tell me what a good film is. So yeah, we just started a new podcast called Give Peace a Chance where we review films that you might have missed. Yeah. And we're having a lot of fun doing it.
We are.
We're getting better at it.
If nothing comes of it, we're having fun doing it.
And we get to talk about movies that other people didn't see, and I get to bring it to light. Hey, I got my own sister to watch, Moon. And if those of you don't know who Moon is, Moon's a film with Sam Rockwell that is directed by David Bowie's son. And in a million years, she never would have watched it. And she watched it. She didn't necessarily like it, but I got her to watch it. So Give Peace a Chance. We're going to have a new episode out. What we've done 2 now.
Yes.
We're about to do our 3rd.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And it's Give Peace, Piece. Give this filmatic piece a chance. Links in the information bar.
What were we going to call? We were going to call it.
How could you not watch this movie? You
fucking
stupid
asshole.
Fucking asshole.
Something like that. Yeah, but we decided to go with something.
How could you have not seen this movie? You fucking asshole.
Yeah, but it's fine. It's fine. But yeah. So anyway, please, actually, how about that? Give Peace a chance by me saying, hey, listen to our podcast, Give Peace a Chance.
Yes.
So it works twice.
Amen.
Give it a chance.
Give it a chance.
And if we suck, it's BJ's fault.
Yeah, he's not here to speak for himself.
Sucker.
All I do is stick around. All I do is stick around. The sun goes up, the moon goes down. The leaves are green, the leaves are brown. And all I do is stick around. All I do is stick around. The sun goes up, the moon goes down. The leaves are green, the leaves are brown. And all I do is stick around. All I do is stick around. The sun goes up, the moon goes down. The leaves are green, the leaves are brown. And all I do is stick around. All I do is stick around. The sun goes up, the moon goes down. The leaves are green, the leaves are brown. And all I do is stick around. What you do, dick around, I will do. I don't care what you do, I'll dick around next to you. But all I do now is dick around. All I do now is dick around, dick around.
Testes, testicular. Testes, testicular. Last line of bump. Okay, that's good. Check. Ice water.
I know. We will be drinking ice water.
Check.
Totally teetotal. Totally teetotal. Totally teetotaling.
This is my stoic. I don't have a Hitler stash, but the whole time we do this entire show, I will have no inflection on my face.
I'm going to do the whole show like this.
Okay. That makes sense.
Good point.
Because this is the time when they decided to move to England because it was more popular there.
You make a good point, but let me push back a tad.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Stop. In the name of love, before you break my heart.
Think it over.
Think it over.
At home, at work, at play.
Which is also, Jim at Florida would know, is also a Mormon hymn. You got to run this, buddy. I'm playing off you.
I know. I just have to take a little
Do it. Just remember, we've got a long night,
here.
Man. We're going to be doing this till about 11.
I'm parsed. I just need a little sip.
You just say parsed? Did you just say parsed?
Is that the word?
It's not the word.
What is
You're
the word?
parched.
Oh.
It's okay, man. That line was structurally incorrect.